to where you are right now, where you're showing up, how you're showing up for this new full moon, which I believe is on the 25th or the 28th. No, what's today? I have no idea. It's this week. Hi everyone, welcome to the Creatives Tarot, the YouTube channel that helps you supercharge your creativity and pursue your passions. My name is Melissa and I'm so glad you're here today. We are going to be doing our Tarot Tuesday reading right now, and this is for the full moon for January 2021. The full moon in Leo, which is sometimes known as the wolf's moon. I'm really excited to dig into this. Leos are confident and they are bold. You have the roar of the lion. So that promises that this full moon may be extra wild, extra energetic, and extra focused on some challenges dealing with ego and pride. I can't wait to get into the readings. We have classic three, pick a card. So definitely watch this, meditate, pause if you need to, reflect on which pile is calling you. And I think we're going to have some really great messages in store for everyone today. Let's get started. Here are the three piles that you can choose from. We have the first pile, which has the selenite rod, the white rod. We have the second pile, which has the amethyst. And we have the third pile, which has our rose quartz, right? So I want you to take a minute, take a deep breath, ground yourself, and ask which pile is calling to you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. It could be the crystal that's drawing you. It could be the number that's drawing you, right? Trust your instincts. Here we go. Pile number 1. Pile number 2. And pile number 3. All right, once you've made your decision, you can jump to the reading for that group. And if you were stuck between two, my recommendation is that you watch both of the videos. All right. Okay, so group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose group 1 with the white selenite crystal, this is your reading. I'm excited to get into it. Remember, the full moon is on the 28th, so the first few cards are going to show us how you're showing up, how you're coming into this full moon. What energy are you carrying right now? What's weighing on your mind? Where are you at? And these are reflected in our archetype cards. So you have 2 cards that came out in your reading today. The first is the animal. This is the first card, the animal. The animal speaks to wildness, untamed, getting back to nature, your primal instincts, not just instincts, urges, basic needs, food, water, shelter, connection, right? That's all connected to this particular card. So right now you're carrying this sort of primal energy, this primal instinct, this primal need that needs to be fulfilled, which is perfect for the full moon. It's not uncommon. Full moons often, I think, represent this wildness, right? This the hidden truths in ourselves that come free, that we allow to come free in the light of the full moon. You know, they always say the full moon, the freaks come out at night, the full moon. That's what my uncle used to say. I think it was a song. Anyway, the second thing that came out was the riddle, right? And the riddle represents questions, but not like a ton of questions, but a specific question that you are struggling with right now. And you're seeking answers, you're seeking guidance, you've been stuck on this. And this is a reminder that the puzzle isn't always meant to be solved, that sometimes the answer is not trying to find the answer at all, but making peace with not knowing. So that's what you're coming into this week with, into the full moon with, is you're carrying this desire to have some kind of answer to a question, probably a philosophical question, a question about your spirituality, about your purpose, about your vision and your goals. You're questioning something big and you're seeking answers. Maybe you're frustrated, but you're not going to find the answers. This is a reminder that you're not going to find the answers right away. It takes time, it takes patience, and maybe there's not an answer at all to your question, and you have to make peace with understanding that. peace with the unknown. So that's the energy you're carrying. Let's now look at the opportunities that you have moving forward. What opportunities will the full moon bring? And I think this fits so much with those first cards, because you have the Hanged One, right? You have the Hanged One here, which speaks to reversals. It speaks to finding peace in your present situation, finding contentment in your present situation. So that Riddle card where you're carrying right now, again, this is telling you this month with this lunar cycle, you have the ability, you have the opportunity to manifest peace, to manifest calm, to change your perspective on the outlook and this idea that you need to solve this in order to advance, in order to move free. You don't need to know all the answers to make peace with where you are and to move forward. And this speaks to not even moving forward, but just being comfortable standing still, being comfortable being silent, being comfortable in where you are and being present and not obsessing over the future or the past. The other card that you had was in reverse. It was the Five of Pentacles. So here we go. Five of Pentacles usually speaks to hardship, money, financial loss, and strain. So maybe the question you've been struggling with has been over career, has been over money, has been over health or wellness or illness. When I think about health, I specifically think about body confidence. That's coming up for me. How you're perceived by the world, beating yourself up. We're in January and everybody's doing resolutions and they're worried about losing weight and being on diets. And I am a big believer that you need to take care of your spirit and your soul as well as your physical self. And sometimes diets are very, very restrictive and very, very toxic. And a lot of people encourage really unhealthy behaviors. And so again, this could be, if you've always struggled with weight, I'm just getting this from some people. If you've always struggled with body acceptance, appearance, weight, wondering why you can't lose the weight and going back and forth in a circle, this might be a sign that hey, you're doing this wrong. You're trying to find an answer to a solution that doesn't exist, and you need to make peace with that. That's what I'm getting from this. Also, some of you have been going through this hardship. It's in reverse, right? Which tells me that the energy is lessening, that it's lightening, it's lifting. So this pressure that you have felt, maybe even for the last year or just the lunar cycle, it's going to ease up, okay? It's going to ease up. There's sunshine, there's opportunities, there's people willing to help, and it's coming soon in this cycle. So have patience, learn to accept where you are, learn to make peace with where you are. There's an opportunity to do that. And with that peace, this will lighten, this burden will lighten, and it won't seem so catastrophic, so extreme, so critical to the rest of your business success, your creative success, your writing success. This will lessen. Okay, so let's look at the challenges that may come into play this month. We have Mercury in retrograde as well. So, energy tensions are going to be manifesting a lot in the next few weeks. And so what you've got are the Ace of Swords, again, in reverse. Our Ace of Swords represents new ideas, new ways of thinking. Swords are all about logic. They're all about the mind. They're all about our mental health and well-being. And this is the start of it. And, what I want to tell you is think about the words that you tell yourself. Think about the negative statements, the negative self-talk, the beating yourself up over something that's outside of your control. All of those things that you tell yourself, those are really damaging. The sword can be a powerful weapon. It can free you, it can uncage you, but it can also hurt you, right? It can cut. So your words matter, your thoughts matter. And this is a reminder that you may struggle a little bit with negative thoughts, negative ideas, thoughts that are critical to others and judgment. And this is just a reminder to pay attention to that. Try and focus on positive communications. I know that communication is going to be tough because Mercury is in retrograde. So there's a lot of potential for miscommunication, or you saying something without really thinking it through that somebody else is going to misinterpret. And they can be really small things, but it can blow up into a really big thing very quickly. So that's what I'm getting with this Ace of Swords in reverse card. You also have the Guardian of Pentacles in reverse. And the Guardian is represented as the Queen in most traditional decks. What I love about this deck is it's a bear, right? And it's wilderness, it's a bear, which makes me think, going back to where you are right now with this animal instincts, this is both grounding energy, earth energy. So Virgos, Taurus, there's just a sense that you need to be grounded, you need to get back in touch with nature, go on a walk or a hike, have a campfire, do something where you can get some fresh air, where you can get some dirt under your feet, where you can just kind of reconnect. If you can take a trip, do it safely. But if you can take a little road trip or just a drive, you know, do something to help you connect, disconnect from the modern day world, technology, all of that. I'm really getting that sense that that's going to help. This is also about generosity. So for some of you, there may be somebody who needs your support, whether it's financially or emotionally or physically, like needs your presence, and you're going to be resistant to doing that. And I encourage you to think about ways in which you can give. I know you're struggling, right? I know that this burden has been on your mind and has been dominating everything that you have been doing, but that's lessening. And the one way to take your mind off of it and make peace with where you are is by giving in service to other people. So think about how you can do that. And if somebody comes to you in the next few weeks and they need support, even if it's financial or just, I feel like it's going to feel like a little bit of a sacrifice to you. It's not going to be something easy. It may require you to rearrange your schedule. It may require you to spend money that you don't have. It may require you to put your faith, like push you outside of your comfort zone. That's okay. Like, this is how you're going to advance. This is how you're going to heal. This is how you're going to be able to come out of your situation and make peace with where you are. And remember, everything you give, you get back tenfold. Give, give, give. Okay, so that's the potential challenge there, is that somebody's going to ask for something, you're not going to want to do it anyway. Okay, and then let's look at some guidance from the oracle cards here. Let me grab them. Okay, yeah, so here you go. Look at this. Step out of your comfort zone, which is what I just said. So yes, definitely do that. Some things are going to make you feel weird. They're going to make you feel different. You're going to be worried and maybe even fearful because of that Five of Pentacles energy, but you just need to let go. You just need to trust the universe has your back. And also know that you are good enough. So this comes with that Ace of Swords energy, that negative self-talk. You need to stop it. Stop the negative self-talk. Reflect on this fact that you are good enough just as you are. If you're holding on to something, if you're trying to answer something about your self-confidence, your capabilities, your skills, your appearance, whatever it is, just know, like, you are good enough. You don't need to live up to somebody else's standards. Let's look at the last pieces of advice. Okay, so you have my fearless freedom lights up the world. So here you go. Fearless freedom lights up the world. It's one piece of advice from the universe, has your back deck. The other one is, in any movement, in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. You guys, I mean, stillness, prayer, reflection, right? Hello. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I'll hold this up so you can see this beautiful design of the card here. Yeah. So just a constant reminder in the next few weeks to carve out space to journal, to reflect, to pray, to practice gratitude. I am feeling that so much, especially with that Queen of Pentacles energy. Practice gratitude, right? Write that down. Give yourself moments to be grateful with where you are right now, not asking for something else, manifesting something different. Just be grateful for where you are right now and be in service to other people. And you are going to get through this full moon cycle just fine. If you found that helpful, definitely let me know in the comments below. Also, your song, let's see. song for group 1 was Bubbly by Colby Calais. So I love that song. Check out the lyrics, check out the link to the music video. I'll put it down in the description below. Yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next Tuesday. Group 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose group 2 with this beautiful, beautiful amethyst crystal, this is your reading. I'm excited to dig into this. We have a lot of cards today, and you had some extra cards that jumped out, and I kept them because I thought the universe wants you to hear this message and they want to reinforce it. So we're going to read through all of these cards. I'm super excited. I also did a song oracle, musical oracle as well. So at the end of this, I'll also reveal what your song was, and I'll have a link to the description in the video so you can click on it and check out the music video for that particular song. But let's get started. So these first cards are really going to speak to where you are right now, where you're showing up in this week at the start of the full moon. What energy are you carrying? What's surrounding you? How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Some of this may be very familiar to you. You're like, yes, I already know this, Melissa. And some of it may be new. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I just couldn't put a word to it, a name to it. So let's get into what came up. And this one, I was only going to pick 2 cards. You got 5. So we'll walk through them together. They are all connected, and I'm not surprised that they all came out at the same time. So the first one is offering. So here we go. The offering came up, and this is really about sacrifice. It's about giving. I think sacrifice is a really great word because it means that like you're giving, you're parting with something that is important to you, right? So this can be a change in behavior, a change in habit, giving money when you already feel strapped for money. It could mean doing something that is maybe a little bit inconvenient for you, but benefits others. But it could also be a sacred offering, just like holding time and space for people, projects, different things in your life. So offering is one thing that came up here. And I get the sense that you need to make an offering or give an offering of something. As we dug in a little bit more, we had the Lover card. Now this Lover card, this is an archetype deck. This is not a traditional tarot deck. And this Lover card is different from the lovers that you see in traditional decks. This really speaks more to passions, the things that you fall in love, the little moments where you have true unbridled love for something and you get to experience that emotion, not the like loving relationships or the romantic partnerships that we often associate with the Lovers card. So here I'm thinking about like, are you binge watching a new TV show? Did you fall in love with a new meal or recipe? Did you laugh till you cried at a joke? Like those moments that bring us pure happiness, a hug, an embrace, a smile, a random comment from our kids, right? This is what the Lover card is all about. And so right now I feel like you're sensing the love, you're feeling love in a new way. And it could be because we're at the start of a new year. It could be because of politics and the change there. But there's a lightness to you and a desire to experience joy and passion and that euphoria that you get, the infatuation that you get when you get to experience something that you love and you haven't had for a little while. Okay, what else is in here? So we've got the shaman. So the shaman is actually very similar to the magician, or maybe like the magician and the high priestess sort of combined. So this really speaks to magic and intuition and alchemy and trusting in that spiritual practice, that spiritual guide. So when you think about the shaman and when I think about like where you're coming from, I have this sense that you are connecting on a more spiritual level than you have before. You're opening up to the possibilities that you are magnificent and you are powerful beyond measure. You're really starting to feel that power, the power of your ancestors that sort of flows through you. And I want you to continue to honor that and grow in that. That's what the shaman is all about. So, it doesn't mean that you have to be like a witch. This just really means that you are connecting spiritually. You're expanding your knowledge of the universe. You're asking questions, you're seeking answers, you're meditating, and you're learning. The thing I think about here is patience and discipline, and a willing to continue to learn and grow in this area. So this could even mean, like, are you reading the Bible? Are you reading spiritual tools that are important for you? Are you studying that and understanding how to apply that into your everyday life? That came up, as well as the unseen. Right? And the unseen is all about our ancestors. It's all about spirits. It's all about ghosts. It's all about the people of our past who are here, and their energy is here. Their presence is here. They're watching over us, and we can't see them. We can't explain it. I was telling my sister that I felt like our ancestors were always protecting us, always watching over us. And that's what I see with this card. So if you're in this group, just know that there are people protecting you and watching over you right now. And you're starting to understand that. You're starting to believe the power of the unseen, the power of things that cannot be explained. And that's beautiful. It's great. And then lastly, we have the Genesis card. And Genesis goes with the shaman and the unseen. This is why I said I'm not surprised that they all came out, because Genesis is not just about a creation, but it's about this, like, it carries this essence of questions and answers. And so if you were struggling between group 1 and 2, I encourage you to listen to group 1 too, because group 1 got the riddle card, which is very similar to this idea of a quest for answers, a quest for knowledge. And what really sinks in here is that, like, sometimes there's not answers, right? But what I'm seeing is like a really deep study, like a passion. This Lover's card tells me there's a passion here for, like, understanding spirituality, understanding philosophy, understanding the unseen, the unknown, magic, whatever it is. Like, there's just a connection and a need and a desire to be in that place and embrace that a little more. So for group 2, I encourage you to grow in your spirituality, watch videos, read books, meditate, journal, ask questions, just explore. Don't limit yourself right now. That's where you are. And these cards are definitely telling me that you need to lean into that. Now let's look at the full moon and what opportunities it's going to bring for you and how it's going to enhance, like, where you are right now. So you got 3 cards that came out. The first is the Two of Wands. Okay, the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands speaks to your personal power and getting ready to move from your internal circle out into the world, pushing your power out into the world, communicating, showing your knowledge, showing your gifts, sharing them with the world, and being comfortable in yourself to be able to transition that power and those passions and those purposes beyond your home. So for you, I think there's an opportunity, whether it's like creating a presence on social media, connecting with people outside of your circle, teaching, doing something that's going to take a little bit of a chance and a little bit of risk, but it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone. I definitely feel like there's an opportunity for you coming up. If you're already doing that, this is a sign to continue to doing that, or to do that for the next few weeks. You've got a couple of things in reverse. So you've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. So this may be an opportunity for you to mend a relationship with somebody who is in the Queen of Swords position. So this is, probably a mentor or a leader, somebody who is in an authority figure for you in your life, and they may not trust you. I feel like there's some burned bridges in this, and they may not trust you, and there's an opportunity here for you to right that wrong. I also feel like if that's not the case, you may be the Queen of Swords and you may not be trusting yourself. And there's an opportunity here that reminds us to trust your instincts and your knowledge. You have an incredible amount of knowledge and information and logic and skill and craft and a read for other people. And so trust that. Don't doubt your own instincts because you think, oh, well, I didn't go to school for this, or I don't have as much experience, or I've never been X, Y, and Z. Stop saying those things and just trust your gut, trust your brain, trust your mind. Okay, and then we have the Four of Wands in reverse. And so this speaks to celebrations and moments of joy, anniversaries, birthdays. I always think about that, weddings, parties, being able to come together and celebrate. And this is in reverse, which means this is blocked, it's stifled, but it's lessening this month. And so there may be an opportunity for you to think outside of the box, but still be social, still celebrate, still do different things than yeah, just still, still have birthday parties, still have weddings, still have all of these things, but do it in a different way, in a more restrained way, in a way that keeps you safe, but also allows you to honor time passing. So I see that as an opportunity for you in this group right now. Celebrate the small stuff. And you may be tempted not to. You may be tempted not to celebrate wins. Don't do that. Celebrate your wins. If you place in a contest, if you get recognition or an award, if you get the nicest rejection letter, right? Celebrate that. Don't hide those successes. Now is not the time. So there's an opportunity to celebrate those things. Okay. And then what challenges does the full moon bring for you? Okay. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting. Challenges with the Five of Swords that speaks to competition, right? And that you may be overly focused on competition. You may be even hoarding stuff or keeping things from other people. So it's kind of like being sort of selfish. So especially with that pride and that ego, like you may be tempted to just say like, it's all mine. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to help anybody because I don't want that competition. And I want all the resources. And if I have them all, then nobody else can, push me off of my perch, right? This is what it looks like, right side up. So it's like winning at all costs kind of thing. Yeah. And I get the sense that is going to be at top of mind. You're going to be thinking about competition, about how resources are, divided and shared. You may be tempted to be in this position, but you also may be on the receiving end, right? Like, and feeling like, oh, this game is rigged. The system is rigged. You may be feeling really disenfranchised, really left out. Why does somebody else have so many more followers than I do? Why are they getting all the jobs and I'm not getting jobs or clients? Why do they have all the money? I want money, right? So it's not a good place to be in. And I feel like you're going to be tempted to fall into this mindset of there are limited resources, the scarcity mindset. You're going to be questioning yourself because you're not making the traction that you want. And this is not a healthy place to be. Now, interesting enough, you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, both right side up. So let's talk about these two cards. The Ace of Pentacles is all about new ideas, new seeds, new beginnings. Aces are all about newness anyway. And this is about new business, new ventures, new opportunities. So I see those as coming your way. We're talking about challenges. So I think one challenge that you may face is prioritization and what to say yes to, what to capture, how to capture. Maybe these ideas are coming fast and furious and you don't have a system in place to capture them and to hold on to them. Maybe you're distracted because you have other projects that are a higher priority. Maybe somebody's paying you for the thing that you don't really want to do, and the thing that you do want to do, these new ideas that keep popping up, you don't have the time or the space or the money to do them. So I feel like there's going to be a challenge there with competing ideas that are new projects, and you'll want to work through that and manage that. The Nine of Pentacles really is, I think, a reminder to harvest and complete the things that you've started, right? So have a little bit of patience right now. It's gonna feel like a challenge because maybe you're starting to get bored, especially, I know writers, I know how you are, you get into those revision and editing stages and you've seen that manuscript or that screenplay a dozen times, 13 times, 15 times. You're like, I do not want to rewrite this anymore. I get it, but know that you're almost done. You're almost done. You're almost ready for harvest, and, celebrate the success of being where you are. Don't get so fixated in sort of revision hell. Remember the 80-20 rule, right? Not everything is going to be perfect, and sometimes that's okay. So know when to stop, know when to harvest, know when to celebrate and indulge in the victories that you have and the harvest that you're producing. It can't all be work all the time. And this is a card that really, I think, does speak to like, how are you finding balance and treating yourself for what you've accomplished? Okay, so let's get into the oracle cards here. You have a couple of messages and we'll go. This got really long, but I knew it would be long with those 5 cards. Okay, so yeah, work through your fears is the first one. Definitely getting that. Work through your fears, and a new start is coming, right? So those aces, you know, they're key. Like new starts are coming, a new beginning. But I do think the work through your fears, a new start is coming. There's something, again, about this power of trusting in your ancestors, of learning and discovering, of having that awakening, having that aha spiritual moment that is going to help make all this other earthly stuff feel not as difficult, right? And it's going to give you peace. It's going to give you comfort. It's going to give you the courage and the power to face your fears and to step out. Like, this is the card I am seeing for you the most. Like, this is where you want to be at the end of the cycle. So think about what you want to accomplish. Think about what you have to offer the world and what's stopping you. Ask yourself that. What is stopping you from pursuing that, from being public, from putting your face out there and your name out there and your work out there? Do it. Do it. Okay, and then the last 2 things, a couple more messages. We have the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am, right? So the more energy and attention you bring to your faith, right? That's what we're talking about. Growing in your faith, growing in the unseen, growing in your knowledge of and your belief systems. I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Again, the lover card, the passion card, what you focus on will grow. Be unapologetic about what you want. Be consistently unapologetic about what you want, and it will manifest. It will come to fruition, and you will have it, and you will be successful, and you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. That's what I see here. There may be tough times, there may be competition, there may be stories and narratives that we tell ourselves about why we're not successful, about the game being rigged. Like, you got to let that go. Just show up and do the work, and you will be successful. All right, that is your reading. Your song, very interesting. Your song was Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey. And it was funny, it came up and I was like, I have not heard this song in years. So there's something there, some message there. I wonder if it's a love song to yourself, right? That you will always be your own baby. I don't know. Maybe that has significance to you. Maybe this is about loving and unconditional love of yourself or of someone in your life. But that song came up. If this resonated, leave a comment down below. And also don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps other people find the channel. It also helps me know that you enjoyed this content, you know, and it doesn't cost you anything. So hit that like button. All right, I'm going to move on to the next group. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the rose quartz heart here, crystal, this is your reading. I love this little crystal here. And let's get into it. This is a lot of cards. These have been going a little bit longer than I thought, but I always say that and they always go long, but it's just because I love to give you full context about the cards and some of the connections that I'm seeing. So we're going to start this reading with a look at the archetype cards, and this is going to represent sort of where you're showing up right now. What energy are you carrying? Some of this may be obvious and you hear it and you're like, yes, I know, that's exactly what I'm feeling. And some of it may be hidden or buried and you're like, oh, I've been restless and I haven't figured out what's causing that. And then like, oh, suddenly you say that and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's how it all connects. That's really what's bothering me. So as I'm talking, when things come to mind really quickly, know that's what I'm talking about, right? Like that is your intuition, like bubbling up. That is source and spirit bubbling up the answers, the messages that you need to hear. So let's get started here with where are you right now? And the first and most important card that I think that came out right here is the Mother card, right? The Mother card came up. And so I think this automatically says that there's some questions about your relationship with your own mother, or your desire to be a mother, or your mothering experience, right? The mother this is the first card in this deck. It is the most pivotal relationship. You know, and it's just crucial. It's crucial to our self-esteem, to our foundational, you know, beliefs and outlook on life. Like, we don't survive without somebody playing that mothering role. Now, this does not mean it has to be a woman, right? But somebody has to play that nurturing, caring, compassionate mother role. We are completely dependent when we are children on elders of taking care of us. And so that's what this card represents. Now let's look at what else came up, because I'm feeling like, well, let's just see. The box came up. The box came up. Boxes, like, I mean, what does it look like? It looks like a maze. It looks like a cage. It looks like you're trapped. And that's exactly what it represents. And so for some of you, this mother figure is feeling like a box. It's feeling like a cage. It's feeling like it's limiting you, keeping you from pursuing your passions, pursuing your purpose, from really growing and expanding. And it doesn't mean you have a horrible relationship with your mother. It doesn't mean that you don't like being a mom, whichever end of the coin you're on. But it does mean that you need to rethink boundaries and think about the roles that you and your mother are playing, or that you're playing as a mom. A good example, like, I just think that mothering is all about nurturing. It's all about protection. And a mother can be, you know, your greatest cheerleader. But they can also be your most outspoken critic and rival. And because the words that they say and the actions that they take wound so deeply. So just be aware of that, especially if you're a mom, be aware of that. But also know that, like, sometimes it's not intended, but mothers can trap you. They can keep you confined. They can keep you from growing, and they do it out of love. They do it out of concern and protection, often, not all the time, but often. But that doesn't mean that that you don't need to be set free. And yeah, you have the underworld. Okay, here's the card. The underworld speaks to darkness. It speaks to evil. It speaks to, you know, being in the valley, being lost, facing your deepest fears. And I feel like this is all connected. There's often a fear of cutting that string, of cutting that ties between the parents, between a mother, of standing up to a mother because you love them so much, or you want their love and approval so much, but you really want to break free from them. And I'm getting that sense that you're starting to realize that. I believe that because you have the Apocalypses card, right? And when we think about an apocalypse, we think about destruction and devastation and the end of the world. But this card, with the Apocalypses card, is really about change. It's like purposeful change. It's like, yes, there's destruction, but there's destruction for rebirth. There's destruction to make room for clarity, to bring answers, to bring a chance for a fresh start and a new beginning, to transition you into a new life. It's actually a very beautiful thing. So all of these cards tell me that right now there's something going on with a parental figure, a mother figure. If it's not your mother, it could be, you know, somebody who's playing that motherly role, that mentor role, a coach, a leader, a manager, an agent, you know, a teacher or professor, a boss that you really respect, somebody in an authority figure who has a lot of influence over you. And you're, you know, afraid to confront them, but you're feeling a little bit boxed in. And not able to really spread your wings and grow in the way that you need to. And that's what you're carrying right now. So let's look at what the opportunities are in the full moon for you to sort of break free from that. Yeah, you have two Queen cards, Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Right. And so these may be different people, or these may be competing sides of yourself. But I do think that Queen of Cups card, I usually think of this as a mother card, right? And so again, I see tension with the relationship with your mother, or somebody in that motherly figure that I was talking about earlier. And this sense that you're feeling like they don't believe in you, or they're like having a little bit of trouble expressing, you know, pride and love and compassion towards you on this new journey, on your new venture, on your new self-discovery. And it's really eating at your confidence a little bit. I also feel like this Queen of Wands may be you. The Queen of Wands is a card that really speaks to power and passion and purpose and being successful in your own ways. I love it because if you look at here, you know, she's got the sunflower, she's got her wand, and she's got the black cat. Like, she's doing her thing her way, and she doesn't care what other people think of her. And it's beautiful, and she's successful and highly accomplished. And what I get a sense of is like, this is you, but you're blocking yourself from stepping into this position because you're afraid of this other queen in your life, right? But there's room for two queens. There's room for more than one queen. So straighten your crown, you know, put it on, walk with confidence, you know. That's what I'm getting here. And again, here we go. We have the Four of Swords, which speaks to, you know, like I think often it can speak to worry and fear and insomnia, not sleeping very well, not resting and recovering, but needing a break. So I feel like there's going to be a time, or there's a need, an opportunity for you to take a break, to rest, to recharge, to heal, to continue healing. Revelations are hard work. Shadow work is hard, difficult stuff, but there's an opportunity for you to continue to heal, and it gets easier, right? And it's going to let you sleep at night. So pay attention to that. Other opportunities, you've got the Wheel of Fortune card. Wheel of Fortune card, I say, is lucky regardless of how it shows up. It reminds us that nothing is static, that everything is always moving and evolving. Luck often works in your favor. So if you're in a moment of where you feel like it's just bad luck and everything's working against you, know that it won't last forever. This is a sign that it's going to change. And if you're feeling good luck, you're feeling lucky, enjoy it, embrace it, take advantage of that. Because again, it won't last forever. Everything is constantly moving and evolving. So there's an opportunity to take advantage, to take a risk this month in this cycle. And I want to encourage you to do that, encourage you to lean a little bit outside of your comfort zone, take advantage of that luck because it is working in your favor. And then you have the Ace of Cups card here. So Ace of Cups speaks to new religions, new relationships, new friendships, meeting new people. So I get the sense that there may be an opportunity for you to build a new relationship, meet a new person, hop on a new Zoom call with somebody, start a new project, find a new client, and you may be a little hesitant. You may be like, well, I don't really have to do that, or do I really need it? You may be doubting yourself. Don't cut yourself off from those networking opportunities. I know we've been doing a ton of Zoom conference calls and panels and all kinds of things on social media, but don't cut yourself off just because you're tired. Just learn to take a break, right? You don't have to quit. Take a break, come back recharged, and continue building your network. That's what I see here. Continue building your network, and not just knowing people for the sake of knowing them, but I mean like your community, your tribe, your people. Build those relationships. Look for those real opportunities for you to grow with potential collaborators or partners, people who are really going to lift you up. This can also be, you know, romantic relationships, right? Don't close yourself off, right? How are you supposed to meet your soulmate if you're not talking to anybody, right? Don't limit yourself there. Challenges. We got 3 cards that came up. Yeah. So I think all of these challenges are going to be enhanced because of Mercury in retrograde, which just started. So yeah, pay attention to that. Yeah, you have the Child of Cups. And this Child of Cups, you know, is you know, our Page of Cups. They're curious, but they're really new. They're exploring relationships. They don't have a lot of knowledge. With this deck in particular, I always think about, again, big fish in a small pond, right? Like there's so much world out there, but this fish feels trapped. And I feel like that's where you feel with your relationships, with your friendships. You feel like you've done all the things. You're seeing the same people over and over and over again. You're not even able to meet new people or to grow that network. What I was just talking about earlier with the opportunities, like I sense that there's a frustration there. There's a real challenge with some relationships, and maybe a need to let go of some relationships. But just be cautious about warning signs with new relationships, who you trust at that early stage, and seek guidance from people who have more knowledge on the situation than you do. Yeah, collaboration, the Three of Pentacles, right? So this is working, collaborating with others, teamwork. Again, this may come up as a challenge because you may be on a project and having trouble with communication. That is a big thing. Communication and technology issues during Mercury in retrograde is a big thing. And so there's a lot of potential to miscommunicate, to misinterpret something. So try to get off of email, try to not leave a bunch of phone messages, try to talk face to face. Do Zoom meetings where you can see each other, look at each other, read the silences, right? If somebody sends you something, don't automatically assume the worst. Ask questions or ask to get in a face-to-face scenario so that you can really hash it out and work together collaboratively. Don't let things fester. I get a sense with, especially with Mercury in retrograde and with the full moon being in Leo, which is a very prideful sign, has a lot of ego and confidence, but also can be very brash and very bold, right? And opinionated. We love you, Leos, but like you guys have opinions and you're not afraid to share them. And that could make collaboration and teamwork really hard. So that could be a potential challenge. And then speaking of ego, we've got the Six of Wands here. Six of Wands is all about public recognition and acclamations, accolades, celebrations, and victories and triumphs. But this is in reverse. And it just tells me that like you may be getting some negative attention, negative press, trolls on your social media account. Maybe you got a rejection and you thought this is the greatest story ever. And you didn't get it. You just got a rejection, right? Or you didn't get a response at all and you got ghosted, right? Something didn't fell through, a job, a gig, a review, whatever it is. Know that it's not permanent. Know that it's one person's opinion. You're talking about the arts. We're talking about creativity, and everybody has things they like and they don't like. So don't take it personally. Learn how to deal with that. Don't let your pride get in the way. That is going to be a challenge that you have to face, and you have to learn how to face it over and over and over again. So go to your toolkit. Okay, messages from the oracles. We have prosperity lies ahead. That's beautiful. And that goes right along with that Wheel of Fortune card, right? Like prosperity lies ahead. So you're going to get I think you're going to get some money or some wealth coming into wealth. Okay, maybe not. Maybe wealth is a bit exaggerated, but you're going to get a little bit of money. Maybe that stimulus check will come in. I don't know. You're going to get a little bit of money in this next cycle, and you're very close to achieving your goal. You're very close to achieving your goal. How beautiful is that? And then lastly, we have a couple of messages from the universe has your back deck. So instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. So this is getting beyond your needs, your immediate desires, your comfort, and thinking about the collective good. I hope that you're praying for the collective good right now. The world can really use it. There's so much heartache, so much loss, so much destruction, so much corruption. So we can use all the good energy that we can get, right? And then obstacles are detours in the right direction. So you may not be on the path you expected. You may be drifting. You may be changing course. That's okay. Something may have happened that surprised you. That's okay, right? It's a detour in the right direction. You were meant to be on that path. Embrace it, own it, accept it, and make peace with it. Okay, that was the last piece here. I was just looking to see what your song was, if I could reach it. If you like that, definitely hit the like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what resonated with you, what felt true, what do you have questions on? Happy to answer questions in the comments, or draw some clarifying cards if you want to know about something else. Your song choice was Suddenly I See. Suddenly I See by Katie Tunstall. And oh my gosh, I will just say, this is the song that I think is most deeply aligned to this reading, especially when we think about where you're at with this card, this relationship with that mother, coach, leader, mentor, figure. Like, I feel like some of you need to cut strings, some of you need to cut ties, some of you need to redefine boundaries and expectations and have maybe a difficult conversation. And then suddenly I feel like you know it. I feel like you've already figured that out. You're just afraid to do it. So don't be afraid, right? You're gonna get what you want, but you have to have the courage to move forward. Yeah, you got all these signs saying that you're going to get what you want. So have the courage to move forward. That is it. That is all. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Also know that I will be drawing a free reading from my newsletter list for one lucky winner. So if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, the link is in the description below. Sign up. I pick one name at random and they get a free 45-minute session with me one-on-one over Zoom. They're a lot of fun. And yeah, I can't wait to be able to give some readings away. So yes, I'm really excited. We've got more great content coming up. So until then, take care, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.